Just like that, we are live. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. I feel like this is a little crooked. Let me try to fix that. Let me turn this down a little bit so I can actually hear myself. Let me take these off because I don't really need to have these on. Right now, we are live. Hello, everybody. As you guys are coming to the room, we are having a first ever Pmdc Town Hall. It's good to see everybody. I wish I could wave to all of you. Actually, I'll start doing that as you guys come into the room. I'm gonna let the room fill up just a little bit. Wanted to come to you guys this evening to let us have a quick conversation and then open up the conversation to you guys. I will speak briefly. This is kind of a different tone to what it is that I normally do. Normally, there's a lot of levity and things of that nature. But today, we're going to be talking about some things that need to have more of a serious under and overtone, because as a community, we have to make sure that we're always in a position where we are uplifting each other, protecting each other, and most importantly, creating together. So we're live simultaneously on Facebook. So if you follow on Facebook, you have an opportunity to see what's going on Facebook. You can follow us at Pmdc. What's going on? Photos by Steven. What's going on at the Cause Photography. And you can watch on both. The Facebook gives you a different point of view to see what's going on, what we're talking today. I'll actually have visuals on there, so if you wanted to see some of what I'm talking about, you'll have an opportunity to see that. But yeah, what's good, Muhammad? What's good, everybody? It's good to see each and every one of you guys this evening. So I'm gonna wait about 1 minute before I get into talking about what we're talking about this evening. We've never had a town hall before. Normally, under the circumstances like this, we usually meet together. What's going? Hey, I see you there, V squared. Let me add your comment real fast. Good to see you, man. We're live on multiple streams here. So if you want to follow this meeting or follow this town hall on our Facebook page, you have an opportunity to do so. And that's just easy. Follow us on at Pmdc on Facebook, and you can see the live here, and then you can also, you can pay attention to the IG as well. Both instances, when I open up the floor for comments, you can put a comment here, and I will be able to get that. The easiest way for me to see a question right away is to look at the little circle with a question mark in it, click it, and that way I can see the questions as they come. Sometimes when people are commenting in real time, the comments go up really fast, and it's just me in here today talking. So on behalf of the amazing staff at Pmdc, the wonderful moderating group of Icy, Johnny, Natasha, myself, on behalf of the ambassadors, Felipe, Muhammad, Akasha, Ashley, and Steven, we're so excited to actually have our first ever town hall. So you guys might be wondering, why are we having a town hall? And the reason why we're having a town hall this evening is because there have been concerns that have been presented to the community as it pertains to the creatives in it. Fortunately, we've not had an instance or incident that has taken place within our meets, whether it be our meet, street meet, or all of the other various meets. But what we're seeing is a rise in incidents that are happening with people who matriculate through our creative communities. And what we would like to do is to make sure that we are kind of coming together to make sure that we're like-minded in protecting both sides of the coin. And both sides of the coin being everyone who is within the creative space to be in a creative community. The wonderful luxury of having a creative community like a Portrait Meet DC or a Street Meet or DC Collectives or Femme Fatale. All of these different groups allow us to come together and work together for a common goal of creating in a wonderful space in a community situation. But what is happening is we're starting to notice outside of our meets, we're seeing a growing trend, and it's not a large trend. I want to be clear here that it always is a minor incidence that reminds you that we've got to bring oil to the squeaky wheel. But we always want to make sure that as a community, we're forward thinking and not reacting at all times. Okay. So as I was saying, we wanted to make sure within this town hall that we present to you what it is as a community we stand by, what it is as a community we look forward to, and then ultimately some of the things that you guys can use as references to protect yourself. Okay. And then after I have the presentation, we're going to open the floor. And when I open the floor today, I'm not asking for you to bring up a specific individual or specific things, but ultimately bring to the table what you feel is necessary to protect the community and protect those that are part of this community. All right. So with that being said, let's start with the PMDC etiquette that we have during our meeting. Many of you guys know that before each and every meeting, we have what we call a social contract. Within that social contract, we talk about the etiquette of what it is that we as a community are looking for and making sure that everybody's taken care of. It kind of looks like this. Always keep your hands to yourself. Do not touch our models. Models do not touch our photogs. Respect each other's personal space. Be polite in directing our models and watch your tone and choice of words. And I want to kind of elaborate on that a little bit. A lot of times, many of us don't realize, we don't go under the adage of treating someone like we would want them to treat us. When it comes to the creative community, we are coming there on an even plane. The photographer is not bigger than the model. The model is not bigger than the photographer. We're coming in as a community. And that's one thing that we have to highlight here. So if we're communicating with each other, it has to be on a plane that is ultimate respect, ultimate awareness, and then ultimately trying to make sure that we're always on the same page. All right. On our meets, we understand that usually there's a larger ratio of photogs to models. There are rare occasions where we have more models than photographers, but that's not always the instance because this is a photography-based community. Although we have many levels of creatives that are a part of this, we are a photo-based, thus a camera being in our logo. All right. At our meets, we understand if a photographer is posing a model, please allow the photog to finish before stepping in. Please do not cross in. And a lot of these rules that we're making sure that we do. We want to make sure at all times that we are contributing in a free space, that we're not trying to control a situation. No matter if it's one photographer or many photographers, there should never be a situation where either the photographers are not respecting each other or the photographers are holding a particular model at bay, okay? Photogs, be mindful of how long you're shooting a model during a meet. Allow other photogs an opportunity to shoot as well. Once you get your shot, move on. Okay. This is not, we never want people to come there and be like, oh, I want to focus on this one model and then I'm going to make sure that they do everything that I want to do. That's not what this is about. This is not what the community is about. But the cool thing about our community, and this kind of leads into some of the instances that have been presented to us, is that this is a networking community as well. So being that we're a networking community, it allows opportunities for us to create outside of our meets. Now, when it comes to us recognizing and networking with other photogs, we have to be mindful of sensible sensibilities. And what does that look like? Well, it looks like this. When you are looking to create with another creative, make sure that you are in a protective environment. Make sure that if it doesn't feel right, if it doesn't look right, you're not being susceptible to whatever the opportunity is. I don't care how good the photographer is. I don't care how good the model is. There's a sense of sensibility that we always have to maintain when it comes to contributing to the community, even if it extends outside of our meets. Now, what does that mean? It means that, hey, a lot of times, a lot of us are not paying to have a contribution to our skills. We're coming in there on a TFP or TFS, however you want to go about it. And in doing so, we have to make sure that we are maintaining a proper balance. Never, as a model, feel like you're going in a situation where a photographer is dictating your time, dictating your awareness, or dictating your safety. We never want that. And on the back end, photographers, we have to always be mindful that you put yourself in a position that you're protecting not only the model, but you're protecting yourself as well. There are far too many instances that we are seeing outside of our meets where photographers are not making sure that there are additional assistants or inviting family members or friends to be a part of the shoot. So there is a free collective, not only of the creatives, but the people that support them as well. I think ultimately, if we abide by this, if we understand what this is all about, there is a full level of safety that occurs on both sides. All right. So that's where we're going with when leading outside of the meet. Back to what we encourage within a meet. Photogs, we encourage you to work with all models, okay, attending the meet. We have received several complaints that photogs are selective and don't want to shoot with certain models. Pmdc welcomes all models, and so should you. Never come into a meet with the mindset, you know what, I'm just going to shoot this person. I'm just going to have this type of thing. The wonderful thing about a creative community, it allows you to work on so many different types of photography, so many types of models, so many types of individuals, because ultimately many of us are trying to grow a business, trying to grow a awareness of how to work with models. And there's an exchange that has to happen where it allows you to network with multiple individuals. So never go there saying, you know, I'm just going to do this. No. Don't limit yourself that way, because if you do that, it puts you in a position to be discriminatory, and we do not want that to take place within our community. Be kind to one another during and after our meets, as well as on social media. And we know that social media can be a prime example where we pull our guns out and we let our feelings be known. But ultimately, we don't want that. We want to make sure that if this is a free exchange, if we're working together, if we're communicating freely, that everybody is on the same page. And there never is a situation unless someone is being disrespectful or someone is breaking the law, by which we want someone to discriminate or besmirch an individual during a creative process. If they're not good, encourage them to be better. There are creatives that are working on being better creatives. And that's something that we have to be mindful of in this community. Now, the good thing about it being irregular to the community, you know that there are certain photographers who have certain styles. You know that there are models who have certain styles, and we have wonderful creatives on both sides of the equation. Make sure that you are aware of all of these intangibles and variations as you come into our meets. All right. If we find that any member of the community is acting in a disrespectful way, they will be banned from our Pmdc events. And this is something that occurs even outside of our meets. If we find, or if we are aware and there is tangible evidence that there is foul play, or there has been a situation where law enforcement has been involved, we will ask you not to be a part of the community. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, because safety is the most important variable of this community. If you do not feel safe, you cannot create. If you do not feel safe, then this is not an environment where we can grow. So ultimately, just like in every single meet where we pull our photographers to the side and our models to the side, we make sure that we empower you within those meets to be the best and have the best protection during our community meets. All right? Hopefully I'm not talking too much and everybody is understanding what is being shared right now. Okay, I'm almost finished with my portion of talking, and then once I finish talking, I'm going to open the floor to all of you guys. All right, now working with each other outside the PMDC event, and this is what I talked about a little bit earlier. Meeting someone at a PMDC does not mean you don't have to do your homework, and that's something that I stressed a little earlier. But let's get into the fine points of things. Reach out to others and ask if they have worked with a model or a photog. The wonderful thing about this network is that somebody's worked with somebody. If they haven't worked with somebody, that should be a red flag. And that should be an ultimate situation where you are taking the extra step to know about this photographer, to know about the environment you're shooting in, and then ultimately the communication that is happening back and forth. If you at any point during the communication process do not feel like you are protected, or this person doesn't value as an individual, not even on top of the fact that you are a wonderful creator to the modeling process or photography process, then that is a red flag. It doesn't mean that you have to proceed. I don't care how good they look or how well they shoot. Make sure that you're using common sense in this equation. Models, do not go to any shoot by yourself unless you absolutely know the photog. Photogs, you should do the same. Take a trusted friend with you to a shoot if you're not familiar with one another. I always encourage someone to bring someone with them. One, it makes the process easier. Also, it's good to have somebody to help you on a set. Sometimes your hair could not be right. I don't feel comfortable touching my model at any time. Either I'll have a female assistant or I'll have the friend be that person that is the contact between my model or the person that I work with. And that's just a practice that I use. And that's something that we have to be mindful of. If you do not create a safe environment, you put yourself in a position to have your practice or those you work with be in a situation that is negative. And we never want that to be the case. All right. When in doubt, back out. I like that. When in doubt, back out, guys. When the adage is, when you smell smoke, there's fire. And so if you're in a situation where you are communicating with an individual, and this is for our photographers as well, sometimes we don't really highlight the fact that a lot of our photographers are targeted as well. And there are some interesting individuals who come at you. If there is a situation where you smell smoke, or if there is doubt, just back out. That is not a situation that is best for you, especially if you're using it as a trade for service. You never want to put your potential business or your potential learning experience in jeopardy with an individual who does not respect you or your practice. All right? Models, know that what is expected of you before you go to any shoot. If the plan changes at any moment, you kindly dismiss yourself from the situation. Don't feel like you need to roll into a role that is not what you agreed upon. And this is for our photographers as well. A lot of times, and this happens with different photographers where they feel like they're doing a shoot, and then the model's like, well, I want to do this. And if that's not what you wanted to do that day, and if it's not something that reflects what you're trying to do or what you're trying to convey in the session, okay? Do not feel like, hey, they're giving their time. Oh, I got to oblige. No, you do not. Again, never put your creativity or the potential of your creativity in jeopardy. All right? So, with that being said, I'm going to open the floor to the community. This is a safe place. This is an opportunity for if there are any questions as it pertains to the community at large, or what you're thinking, because the thing about it is, in this community, we have a lot of people who are new, okay? And when they're new to the process, they're new to what it is that goes on. There are so many people that can help you with this process. And one of the things I want to do, give a quick reference to for our models, there's a site on Instagram called the Mid-Atlantic Model Safety Network. I encourage you guys to follow them. In there's a lot of different anecdotes. There's a lot of different advice for you as a model to kind of like, hey, this is This is the common sense meter that I need to do. One of the things is they talk about booking and the best practices and your rates and the consideration of understanding what the mutual agreement is all about. If you look into sites like the Mid-Atlantic Model Safety Network or different sites out there, photographers as well, okay? Protect yourself, protect your business, and make sure at all times that you are valued, all right? All right, here we go. I have a question real fast. These are valid points that you have made and worth mentioning as reminders to all. Thank you, V Squared. Joe Vision says, do you know when and where the next DC Portrait Meet DC event is? Yes, so real fast for you. If you look on our page on here on Instagram, we have the dates for the entire year. So all of the dates are available. We're actually meeting this Saturday, so there'll actually be another live that'll be a bit more on the light side where you guys get to understand what it is our media is. So we'll be in Annapolis this upcoming Saturday. It's a wonderful, wonderful event that's going to take place. The cause photography says always check references on both sides of the equation. Absolutely, absolutely. I love the mention of mutual agreement between both parties. Absolutely. Guys, and I encourage you all, a lot of times we do a lot of things word of mouth. And that's nice. But at the end of the day, there's nothing like a signature, and there's nothing like an outline of what it is that you both agree at the end of the day. When you do that, it allows both parties to see and be aware of what even if it's a trade for service. And I want to remind you guys, you have to start understanding the business of creating. Even if you're doing it as a hobby, there is a business, which means if you're a business, that means you have etiquette. That means that there is an agreement, there is a contract, there are things and practices that make sure that each party knows what's going on and there are no surprises. If you're continuing to work with individuals who don't understand that process, you don't need to be working with them. Or you need to be the person that educates them. And if they don't want to be a part of your education process, that should be a red flag. All right. I love the mention. Okay. Joe Visions. Thanks. All right. All right. Are there any other questions or comments? Again, I mentioned before, I don't want there to be a situation where we're talking about specific individuals or things of that nature, but we can talk about instances where there is like a consult involved that we can kind of help each other as a community. All right. What's up, Mel Visuals? How you guys doing? Again, this is our Pmdc Town Hall. I wanted to make sure that we have in place opportunity for each and every one of you guys to be safe. Safety is paramount, and we haven't had any instances in our meets, but we're starting to see a trend where people who attend meets in various places are not really understanding what the value of each individual brings to the table. So we want to make sure that that is being highlighted. Also, during meets outside of PMDC, always outline expectations in model release, not just rates, if any. Yes, preach. Model releases. If you, and I encourage you guys, I don't know how many of you guys are involved in PPA yet. The cool thing about PPA is if you sign up to be in PPA, and if you want to get a reference to PPA, hit me up after this. You can, for $25 a month, you have protection of all your gear and the things of that nature, but they also give you free releases and free things as a creative that protect you when it comes to creating. So model releases, contracts, all of that stuff is all part of a $25 a month PPA, Professional Photographers Association. So I encourage you guys to be a part of that, to understand what a model release is. Understand it. Don't just be like, hey, meet me at such and such and such, and yeah, no. That's not the proper way. And that's another thing that we're highlighting here in the community. We're gonna actually start having business classes. We're gonna start letting you guys understand the module for success. It's not just about, if you want to take it to the next level as a photographer or a model, you got to understand the business. The business is what's going to help you elevate in this craft. It's not your passion, I'm sorry. Whoever I know it sounds nice. I know it feels nice, but your passion is not going to create income. It is your awareness of the business. And if you want to understand what this business is about, it's about people. And if you don't understand the respect aspect of people, the value of people, you are going to put yourself in a position to fail and ultimately get locked up. All right. All right, here real fast. Hold on. Yes, PPA is everything business plus and much more. Yeah. PPA. Incidentally, Easy Release is a very functional free app. Yes, it is. And it's funny because they use a lot of stuff that PPA uses. So yeah. I would love and appreciate business classes. Yes, they're on deck. And you know, I hate to do a shameless plug, but if you're a part of our membership, you get access to all of the side classes that we have up first, and we'll be making announcements that happen within that. There'll be business classes, there'll be photography classes, lighting classes. There are going to be a bunch of different things that are happening on the membership aspect side. So if you're looking for that, it's $4.99 a month, but it reaps dividends far beyond that on this outside of just our once a month meets. All right, photographers need to maintain awareness of surroundings. I've had several photographers step in front of me at meets. Many don't realize that they have just blocked my shot. Yeah, and it's kind of like I don't know if you guys have watched chef shows, but the thing about meets is sometimes you have to have like that chef mentality and make sure that you are making people aware that something is hot and that you're on a hot shot or you're making the shot. It's all about communication, guys. I think sometimes we feel like there's an osmosis effect that happens in the community. That's not how it works. It's about a free form level of communication. So if you're respectfully communicating, hey, you know, I'm about to take the shot, everybody should respond to that right away. If they're not responding, then you kindly just let them know. And if it becomes a situation that's more than that, you see all these people with Pmdc shirts on, we'll take care of it from that point. So yeah. Hey, what's up, Felipe? I see my boy Felipe in the building. Hold on, I actually have a question from somebody in here. Hold on. The question is, will there be in between meets where business and creating? Oh yeah. I just kind of answered that, my boy. And yes, there will be business classes that are taking place really soon. Again, those announcements will happen first within our membership group. So if you haven't had a chance to sign up to be a part of our membership, go ahead and do that, guys. I'm telling you, it's so worth it. Again, for those who are just coming in, we're having our PMC Townhall. We kind of outlined what it is that we as PMDC community place as value to our community members and practices that we should be doing as creatives outside of our meets as well. We've got to protect each other. We've got to respect each other. I'm of the old adage that do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Speak unto others as you would have them speak unto you. If you understand that module of communication, if you understand that module of understanding the creatives you work with, the process will be so much more beautiful, so much more enlightening. Listen, y'all, nobody here in this community is an object. Nobody here in this community is a person that doesn't respect time. And if you do not understand these variables, guys, you cannot be a part of these communities. And let alone life is going to come back at you in a very, very malicious way. So we want to make sure that we are maintaining a level of respect in this community, inside and out. All right. So are there any other questions? Any other comments? Again, the floor is open for questions and or comments as it pertains to what we talked about. Again, as a reference to our models, why don't you guys check out Mid-Atlantic Model Safety Network. Check them out. It's a really good page on IG that gives wonderful affirmations and tips to our models. Again, our photographers as well. Photographers, pay attention to these things. Photographers, protect yourself, protect your business, and be respectful, okay? Respect goes a long way at the end of the day. If you are body shaming, I'm hearing instances where people are body shaming, where people are dismissing individuals for different reasons. Y'all, that is a reflection of the emptiness that you have in yourself. And that should never take place at any time when it comes to being a professional in this business. And it makes us look bad, honestly. It makes those who are doing the right thing and doing the wonderful thing, it puts us in a position where we're having to like defend ourselves or defend the honest living that we do on a bigger platform. So hold on real fast. On the road, wanted to say hi. Okay. We have a comment over here on Facebook. You guys can pay attention to things on Facebook as well. If you haven't had a chance to follow on Facebook, we're at Portrait Mate DC, and you get a different little point of view as to what it is that's going on. Hello, everyone on the road. I wanted to say hi, and please take into account that our models has sometimes a difficult day before the meet. They are human, and negative comments or feelings on IG. Yes. On both instances, guys, we're all human. We are all human. At the end of the day, we have to make sure that we are respecting one another. We have good days, we have bad days, but those bad days should not reflect on your creative sessions. If you're having a bad day and there's something, cancel it, because we're not going to be deflecting and transmitting those bad vibes onto the very people who are trying to help you in your creative process. And that's the one alarming thing to me as an individual who is in this business. You're asking someone to participate in helping you become better, and you can never take advantage of that for no reason at all. There's no room for that to take place. Also, I have a comment right here. My friend Nick Lins, hey, a wonderful ambassador over here. Also, always know that you can come to anyone in PMD shirt if anything happens at PMDC meets. That's right. There's also model talk in the beginning in every meet. Absolutely. We talked about that before. Thank you for highlighting that again. Shout out to our amazing staff. Shout out to our amazing ambassadors, Felipe, Akasha, Ashley, Steven, and Mohammed. And to all of the wonderful moderators, Natasha, Icy, Johnny, and myself, we're just so thankful to be in a position where we can bring a community together to work on things that we're very passionate about. But with passion, with creativity, comes the responsibility of it all. And we want to make sure that we're maintaining that level of respect, and just decorum, just regular decorum. Hi, Lacreme, how are you doing? And like Mixelin said, you guys got to understand that we're here for you, and it's not just at a meet. You can always chime in on our DM. You can reach out to any one of us. We all have our personal pages as well, and you can make us aware. If you have questions about, hey, what do you think of this? Or what do you think of that? We're here for that. That's what community does. It helps to, they say iron sharpens iron. And if you are leaning on individuals in a community that are trustworthy, that's the important key here. Trustworthy individuals help make that iron sharpening iron process take place. And I really love the comments that I receive from you guys. Even just random positive comments where we're strengthening each other. This is what needs to take place from person to person. What takes place meet to meet, and what takes place in our creative process outside of our meets. All right. Did you just paraphrase Spider-Man with great power? No. That just no, that didn't happen. Yes, iron sharpens iron. Are there any other questions and or comments? I don't want to hold you guys up too late, but forums like these are necessary. Shout out to Street Meet DC. They recently had a panel of models talking about their experiences and things of that nature. Look, empowerment and protection and all of these things are so necessary. It happens on both sides. A lot of times we We are aware of what our models go through. But as photographers, a lot of our photographers are in a position where they have to make sure that they are protecting themselves as well. Look, y'all, like I said before, if you are in the business of understanding or getting better, you must understand what the business of photography is all about. You all have jobs in your various places. You all have HR. You have to, the wonderful, when you're your own business, you got to be the business, you got to be HR, you got to be the secretary, you got to be everything. And understanding that process, you have to make sure that you're maintaining proper business etiquette in each exchange, even if it's just a passion project. Like we said, we're talking about releases and things of that nature. Always make sure that you have everything documented as to what it is that you're going to create. Models, if you don't know that, get them educated. Get them educated. Hey, you know what? Can we have a release? Can you outline what it is that you would want me to create? And I'm going to make sure I have an individual. Do you have space for my friends or family to be a part of this? That's how the exchange goes. And photographers, hey, you know what? This is what I want to work on. I don't want to delineate from that. I want to make sure that this is what we work on. This is the time. This is the place. This is the space where your family or friends can be a part of this. If they want to be a part of this, this is what they can contribute. If each party knows fully what's going on, everything works out. We got a comment over here over on our Facebook page. The question is, what's up, Herman? How's everything going? Got to take care of each other. Honestly, people might not be their thing. Absolutely. I know we want to nurture creatives, but they may be at home taking pictures of landscapes and not people. Absolutely. I think that's a really good point. And we talked about that a little bit earlier. This is your introduction. If you want to work with models, or if you want to work in a space where you're interacting, this is a people business. So if you are inviting people into your creative process, you must understand what that looks like. You must understand. And if you need a better sense or awareness of that, tap into the community. Tap into references that can help you with that. Tap into, when you come to each event, you're talking to the moderators and the ambassadors, and ask them, hey, you know what? I normally do this type of photography. Leaning into this, what can I do? What can be done to make sure that I am providing a wonderful, positive environment and experience for someone that I'm bringing into my creative experience? We're here for that, 100%. And you get that for free. All right. Real fast. Another comment over here. True that. Herman Copeland. I'm really liking the comments over here on Facebook. If you guys are on our Facebook right now, we're at Portrait Meet DC on Facebook. You can see the comments that are happening over here. It's a little bit different. It looks a little bit different on that on this side. We actually have music and stuff happening. And I'm actually about to run a cinematic scene for those over on PMDC to let people know what PMDC looks like. A lot of people who don't know what PMDC, a lot of times people hear what PMDC is all about, or they hear about Street Meet, or they hear about all these DC collectives. They hear about all these events, but they don't know what they look like. That's another thing, guys. We're all creative communities. We look a little different, but the process is all the same. There's people involved. There's respect involved. And if we take into account all of these variables, every community can thrive. And you're never going to hear from a lot of times people like, well, this community did this or that community. Well, you know what? I applaud each and every community, because without that, this is a luxury. Outside of the DMV, there's not a lot of creative communities. I hate to tell you guys. Outside of DMV, there are not communities like that. In your major cities like New York and LA and Chicago, they don't have communities like that. And you have multiple communities here in the DMV. If we are taking care of each other, if we are respecting each other, if we're understanding what this process is about, and we help elevate each other, and we're shining our light, the community all across the board can be protected and it can be safe. All right. A couple more comments here. Someday I'm going to write a book on comparative moral philosophies. Oh, that sounds tough. It's going to be titled Don't Be a Dick. Just be kind to each other. Hey, I like that. I like it. That's what's up, Cos Photography. Mixerlin, DMV does have some pretty great creative. Absolutely, Mixerlin. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hold on real fast. I have a comment over on Facebook. It says, well, I mean, don't be nasty. Always come to spread my joy and life. Absolutely, love Glam. Are there any other questions? I don't want to be kind of like holding the mic hostage here. Again, this is a town hall. This is an opportunity for you guys to ask questions. If you don't know some things, if you're trying to get better acquainted on some things, this is the time. Again, our next Portrait Meet is taking place this Saturday in Annapolis. And I don't know if you guys remember, we went to Annapolis last before COVID, and it was an amazing time we had there. Looking forward to that. We got a special permit so you guys can shoot all over Annapolis. Normally you cannot shoot in Annapolis. You cannot shoot in Annapolis without a permit. So we took care of that so that you guys can take a full advantage of the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful things that are taking place over in Annapolis. Hold on real fast. Let me pin that comment. I see my good friend NH Photo just said, join us tomorrow for the Annapolis Town Hall. That's right. For all of you guys who don't know, the night before each meet, we have a general session. NH Photos and myself and the rest of the Pmdc family, we link up and we talk about the event. We're gonna talk about tomorrow our featured models, our featured style, our location. It's going to be a lot of fun out in Annapolis. Again, and these are the principles that we talked about earlier that we want to make sure that we maintain in each and every meet, inside of the meets and outside of the meets. If I was in church, I'd be like, can I get an amen? We got to make sure, guys. We got to make sure. We have to make sure. And this is, a lot of times you guys see me laughing or you guys see a jovial demeanor about myself. And I'm saying this with the utmost sincerity and the utmost seriousness. We have to take care of each other. We have to. That's what community does. Community makes sure that no one feels alienated. Community makes sure that everyone feels strengthened and empowered. Community is the heartbeat to everything we do. So if we as a community rally around when we see things that are not positive, that are nasty, that are not of a nature that is a human to human experience, then we have to pull out the weeds. And we have to make sure that at the end of the day, every person in this community has the utmost value so that our creativity can flourish. So as a community, take on the responsibility. Become better at the business of understanding people. Take advantage of an opportunity that allows you to be a better creative, a better person, but ultimately a better community member. Okay? So that's all I have for you guys this evening. Make sure you join us. Hey, what's up there, Jeff to the core? Join us tomorrow for our Annapolis breakdown. That's going to be a different tone. You'll see me smile again. You'll see me laughing, I'm sure. But I wanted to make sure that we were on tone, that we were on par for making sure that as a community, we rally around each other and we hold each other accountable. We just love on each other. That's the most important thing. All right. Are there any questions real fast before I depart? I've held you guys for 45 minutes. I was trying to hold on. I was trying to keep you guys just for 30 minutes. Sorry, I got a little long-winded, but I feel like this need to be said. If anybody needs to replay this is going to be available on our Facebook. It's going to be available on our Instagram. And we'll make sure that we save this so that you can use it as a reference if anybody needs to hear this. Again, for our models, take advantage of the Mid-Atlantic Model Safety Network on Instagram. Follow them. As photographers, look into getting into PPA and different areas to allow you to understand what a model release looks like. Get into understanding that you get full details of what it is that you require in your meets. But also make sure there's a space for family and friends to be a part of these meets. Make sure that you are having a good day. And make sure that good day is reflected in how you communicate with the individuals that you work with. And the same thing with our models too. Let me tell y'all, I've heard some stories, boy. I've heard some stories on both sides. We've got to make sure that we are taking care of each other. Just point blank, period. All right. Love Glam said it's all good. Glad you addressed some good stuff, spreading love and light to all. Absolutely. Amen on that. Amen. All right. Again, are there any questions, guys? Are there any questions? Any questions on our comments? I want to make sure that we're all on the same page here. We had quite a few people come on our Facebook page. That's cool. Again, if you haven't followed us on Facebook, if you have a Facebook, we're at Portrait Meet DC. Again, we're always here on Instagram. Again, also, if you're looking to be a part of our smaller classes and the things that we do outside of our regular meets, join our membership. It's an opportunity to get first dibs on those classes, and things are going to be more on an intimate level. They're not going to be big numbers like how we do at our meets. Okay, so if you're looking to get into that, make sure you join us so that we can take care of you. Hold on real fast. I got a comment. Herman said PPA is the move. Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? You want to make sure that we got all that expensive equipment. You want to make sure that stuff is insured, So definitely, if you don't know about PPA and you would like a referral from me, hit me up. I'll make sure I send all of that stuff your way to make sure that you're good to go. Again, are there any questions? Any comments? Hold on, we got another comment over here. Melvin says, good discussion. Thank you, Melvin. I'm gonna go ahead and give you an applause over here. I wish I had like sound effects that I could do over on IG side. I can't do any of that music or sound effects over over here that I do over at Facebook. Again, any questions or comments? All right, I think I have gotten everything out that needs to be gotten out. Again, hope to see you guys tomorrow evening. Hey, NH Photos, are you there? What time are we looking to address the good folks tomorrow? What time are we trying to do that? We're doing 8 o'clock again. Are you there? I'm gonna give a few seconds. Oh, 8:30. Okay, so 8:30. 8:30 tomorrow. We'll be live again. We'll be live here on Instagram. We'll be live on Facebook as well. And if you're having a chance, check out my live show. I have a live show. I'm doing a shameless plug for myself. I have a live show on YouTube called The Dual Exchange. It's every Friday at 2:30, and it promotes positivity and wonderful things that we've discussed here in this forum. It's something that is done every Friday at 2:30 live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, all of the above. So if you want to be a part of that, check us out. So had that on Friday, and then we have our live that takes place 8:30 tomorrow here on Instagram and Facebook. All right. With that being said, guys, be kind to one another. I say this on my show: take time to create, take time to spread your light, take time to love yourself, take time to love on somebody. The time is now. We are not promised moments outside of the ones that we have in front of us. So take full advantage of that. Make sure that you're respecting each other. Make sure you're respecting yourself. If you have a general respect of yourself, it allows you to share that with someone that you come and encounter. So, with that being said, you guys have a wonderful evening. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow, and be blessed. Bye. All right, guys. Hold on real fast. Say goodbye to you guys in a second. Let me take care of everything over here on Instagram first. Da 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 da. Do 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 do. All right, let's see. Let's find a proper cover here. And actually, let me put some music on because I'm sure it's really silent over on this side. Let me put that back on. And man, it's funny when you're picking a cover for things, you realize all of the many faces that you say or you have when you're doing things. Pmdc Townhall. All right. Community safety. All right. Let's get ready to share that. Pmdc and portrait. Meet DC. And lastly, Pmdc Town. All right, wait, let's do this properly. ALL. Boom. I guess I need to make a proper. Let's do. Townhall. All right. All right, I think I got everything, guys. Let me share that. I think everybody's gone. But for the few of you that seem to be here, thanks for being a part of this, guys. And again, looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow night at 8:30, and we're going to talk about Annapolis. And you know what? I'm going to leave us the wonderful cinematic scene from our first meet. fast to my friend here, Andrew. Andrew, let me add you too. He said, "Hey, brother, I'm not going to be able to be for tomorrow night live in Annapolis. Want to come? Can you please shoot me a message with a time for the meetup?" So, yeah, just hit me up on the IG DM, and I'll make sure that you get all of that information. Looking forward to meeting you, Andrew. Andrew, is this going to be your first time? Or is this... Wait, Andrew, that sounds familiar. I like that. Coolio. That's what's up. Yeah. So, Drew, just hit me up on the DM, and then I'll take care of all of that information for you. All right. Before I go, guys, are there any other questions? All right, guys. Y'all have a good one. And, oh, no. That's what I thought. I was like, on the car. I was like, wait, this icon that you have on there looks. I'm like, wait a second. This man looks straight out of Roman Empire right now. So good stuff, man. All right. You guys have a wonderful. Hey, man, I wanna copy that book whenever you do it. Definitely want a copy of that book whenever you write it, man. All right, guys, y'all have a wonderful evening, and look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow evening. All right, take it easy.